If you're using first-class land for biofuels, then you're competing with the growing of food, and so you're actually spiking food prices by moving energy production into agriculture. Digital reading will completely take over. It's lightweighter and it's fantastic for sharing. Over time it will take over. My experience of malaria was just taking anti-malarials, which give you strange dreams. Because I don't want to get malaria. Being flooded with information doesn't mean we have the right information or that we're in touch with the right people. The billionaire song is what my kids tease me with. They sing it to me. It's funny, my mom and my dad were both very sociable, meeting lots of interesting people. The only definition by which America's best days are behind it is on a purely relative basis. Americans want students to get the best education possible. We want schools to prepare children to become good citizens and members of a prosperous American economy. The fight against AIDS in China is already well underway. The Chinese government and other funders are providing major support, and they'll continue to bear primary responsibility for delivering prevention and treatment. People are going to buy cheap fertilizer so they can grow enough crops to feed themselves, which will be increasingly difficult with climate change. Considering their impact, you might expect mosquitoes to get more attention than they do. Sharks kill fewer than a dozen people every year, and in the US they get a week dedicated to them on TV every year. When you revolutionize education, you're taking the very mechanism of how people be smarter and do new things, and you're priming the pump for so many incredible things. One of the statistics that always amazes me is the approval of the Chinese government, not elected, is over 80%. The approval of the US government, fully elected, is 19%. Well, we elected these people and they didn't elect those people. Isn't it supposed to be different? Aren't we supposed to like the people that we elected in order to deal with all the medical cost demands and other challenges in the US? As we look to raise that revenue, the rich will have to pay slightly more. That's quite clear. Although I don't have a prescription for what others should do, I know I have been very fortunate and feel a responsibility to give back to society in a very significant way in almost every area of human endeavor. The practice improves over time. That hasn't been the case for teaching. It's the poorer people in tropical zones who will get really hit by climate change, as well as some ecosystems, which nobody wants to see disappear. At Microsoft there are lots of brilliant ideas, but the image is that they all come from the top. I'm afraid that's not quite right. I have seen firsthand that agricultural science has enormous potential to increase the yields of small farmers and lift them out of hunger and poverty in inner-city, low-income communities of color. There's such a high correlation in terms of educational quality and success.